Hey there YouTube, Kent here from Think Trade Profit. Welcome back to the channel. In this video I want to talk about tape reading and share some of the things that I look for, and hopefully there's some clues and some hints that no matter what time frame you trade on, they'll help you grow your trading account. Tape reading to me is more than just the times and sales. I consider the action in the level 2 and the times and sales, and obviously you can supplement that with what you're seeing on the chart. Obviously we're talking about price in almost every case, so it's going to show up on the chart too, but there are some things in times and sales in the level 2, depending on the type of stock that you trade, that'll give you those hints and those clues about where to get in, where to get out, and what may be going on behind the scenes. So aside from using trade ideas, and I have that up here, I have some down gappers and up gappers with some filters set with the way I like them. There's always the opportunity to go into Active Trader Pro if you're using Fidelity and go into filters early in the morning and look at, say, most actives. And here you're not going to see the change yet. This doesn't get populated until the open, but you will see the volume. So this will give you kind of a sneak peek before the open of what might be trading very heavily and something we could look at. So I'm going to focus on a couple of lower float stocks or small cap stocks. I'm going to look at some large caps and some mid caps, and some of the stocks that I'm looking to trade to make sort of my go-tos. I've had to leave some stocks behind because they're not trading as much as they used to, and I want to pick up some new ones. So looking at a different couple types of stocks and how they trade, I'm going to kind of give you my opinion on what's possible as far as reading the tape and what you should expect. There's a lot of opportunity in stocks that don't trade super heavy, don't have a high algorithmic or high frequency component. You can see a lot more in the prints. On the flip side, if you have something that's very active, you know, some of the highest volume on in the markets for the day, the tapes can be really fast, and there you're more looking at general levels. So grow generation, this might have some action. It's a little bit more interesting chart pattern. It's not this might be a consolidation area like we're seeing in a lot of these other stocks. So gapped up, traded all the way down. R-Vol is a little bit more sane. It's only 1.4, but it's elevated. So maybe there's something we can see in here. Is this a consolidation to go lower, or could we trade some kind of range in here off of this candle? This is about 1737. Only a 3-cent spread. So I wouldn't mind, you know, trying to scalp a little short in here. I don't know, you know, ATR is only 19 cents, and a lot of that's factoring in the open and this wide range bar here. And I think I missed it. Sorry, I was talking about the chart and not really looking at this, but it looks like it just stepped down 10 cents almost instantly. So there might be a price in here for a little short if we could get it. Interesting, you got some prints down here at 12.5 cents. Maybe I didn't see those bids drop, but let's watch this action just for a second. And the other stock I'm going to look at is DraftKings, DKNG. It's one I've traded before. It's got elevated volume today too. So maybe we'll take a look at these two, because some of the other ones are some of the most active. DraftKings is a 2.0 relative volume. Let's see if we can get a short here, and let's use the level 2 in the tape. Take advantage of the spread. Let's watch these prints. So the thing to look for here with this current state is nothing's printed there. That's the first print at 1722. But initially, when that quote changed, nothing printed on the offer. So that's kind of a hint. At least to me, it's like, it's one of the first things they do. If something ticks up and it's slightly surprising, is, are there prints on the offer? Is anyone interested in that price? And they really weren't. There were a couple prints, and that was it. I think 700 shares. So I think this might be a good spot to try short. Let's flip that up. I don't think we're going to get it, obviously, but those are the kind of clues that you're looking for in a price change on the level 2. It changes, it ticks a little bit higher, a little bit surprising. Did anyone pay it? And I think there were just 2 prints, maybe 3. So I could have been a little bit faster, but I'm kind of talking as well, so it slows me down. I want to go to DraftKings. I haven't looked at that yet, but this is something, obviously this is a lot more active. There is a pretty high algorithmic component in the stock too. So again, this is one where, because it's so active, it's very hard to read the level of the times and sales, right? This moves fast. I've done things like take a second directory trade, put it up here, expand it, stretch it out, and have the times and sales way up here. But for me, it really doesn't, on these kind of stocks, I don't think it's that helpful. It's more of our major levels holding. Here's a 75 level. So that could be a psychological level. It's one of those, 0, 25, 50, 75 levels. It didn't hold, but this is pretty whippy. You can see the ATR is about 26, 28 cents. It moves pretty well. And this is a big move too. So the key here is this a flush below 50? It's my first thought. Is this a flush out move? It's a pretty wide range, move. I don't know what SPYs are doing, but this isn't in the Nasdaq 100. So it almost looks like they were trying to flush out people below 50, and this thing will turn right back up. That's my first thought. Does the tape confirm it? So the 45s come in. Here's the 50 level. This could change it. That's exactly what happened. So now everyone's 49.50. The offer's lifted, and maybe this turns back up. It's not exactly in an uptrend, but at least for that moment, it seems like, from a short-term scalp perspective, it was a flush move. Let's see if it holds. So the spread, the effective spread, that's another thing I say a lot. Maybe you guys have seen it in my other videos, but I'll use the term effective spread. So you can't just look at this, and of course I was wrong, it's trading lower. You can't just look at this and say, oh, the spread is 4 cents. You have to say, what is the effective spread? When it turns or it moves on you, sometimes it widens out, and it did that there for a moment. When it got to 50.54 and I thought it was turning back up for a second, and if it turns down here, watch the spread widen. And that's where you might be close to a bottom. It's where they play that game where they make it really hard for you to stay short, and they could widen it out. So we're at 34.36 right now, but it's just jumped on the offer multiple levels, right? More than 6 cents up. The best offers were 42. So I think this is near kind of a bottom. I could be totally wrong. Well, I guess I could put some money on it. It just seems like the offers are lifting way too easy. I don't know what SPYs and that kind of thing are doing, like what the money flow is into the market. Let me just set that up. We've had a kind of a big downturn. If you can see that little move there in SPY. Let me zoom in. So I think they flushed the 52.50 level, and this thing could put in a bounce. It's not down that much. It's kind of a second day play. It had news yesterday, I think, and it had a pretty rough day. So let's watch this just to see how it reacts around here. I'm not going to put it on trade yet, but let's just watch this 52.50 level, and then we'll switch back to grow generation, and we'll watch these two. I feel comfortable with both of these, and I've got 500 shares. Is this shortable? It's hard to borrow, but it's a million shortable. So didn't make it back to 52.50. And let's pin this grow. Let's take this pen out. We'll keep PayPal. Let's take that QCOM out. All right, so cleanly through 25, but does it even try to bounce, or is it going to the 52 level? SPYs are ticking up. Like, do they really have to crush it at this point? Let's take a look at VWAP on the other screen. It's obviously way below VWAP. So you can see it here. Is it going to make the fit? So the next level is 52.00. So let's see what happens here. I doubt it goes through 52. Maybe I should step in here. This thing's very active. I think this is a favorite among traders. So pretty decent turn here from 09 to 17. So maybe one more dip. Where's my Williams percentage R? Here it is. So we are at extreme levels there too. Yeah, I took my eyes off it for a second. It's already bid up pretty well. But we saw 5250 as a pretty tough level before, right? And that would be above, it'd be right ab this candle. So this red candle. Here's the 5 minute over here. So I think this is stuck in the middle for the moment between O and 52.20, 52.0 and 52.50. I just want to see if GRWG is doing anything. Okay, so almost positive on the day, slightly, just slightly negative. Not really in near a major level. So that's another thing to consider. On an uptrend like this is cleared 1725, which I don't probably think is a major level. This is a lower price stock, but 1750 would be, and 17.0 would be the other one underneath it. I wouldn't short it here. Even though it might tick down, it's moved so far. It's a little bit farther away from 1700 than it is to 1750. And they actually, on this candle, the high of that is 1745. So let's go back to DKNG. I think there's more opportunity there. It's just more active. So here's this level. How brave are we? So the overall market is ticking up a little bit, but didn't even get above 40. So from a momentum standpoint, let's watch the offers. Let's see if we can sneak in here with a short. It just doesn't seem very strong. So that effective spread, again, it flipped right there immensely. And maybe we can catch a really good price. So it didn't make it above 40 before, but maybe in a turn this flips up to like 44. And we've got 52.44, and we've got like here. And then we got 52.50 to protect us as a major level. Like if we're wrong, we can cover for 6 cents, 7 cent loss, something like that. So I'm waiting for this to tick up quickly above 40 is what I'm looking for a short, with the hopes that 52.50 will hold, it'll slow down, and we'll try to get a good price and play off that level. So let's see if it kind of turns up here. Spies. All right, so let's try something in front of 52.50 based on the tape. They let it rise a little bit. And hopefully it's not putting in a major bottom. Even though this looks like a double bottom, things can be deceptive. A lot of offers still keep coming in front of 52.40 even. So that might be a clue too. It didn't, there's a couple times it's tried to get above 40 and it hasn't. Is anyone paying 40? You don't see it, right? So it tried to trade up, nothing printed at 40 when the offers were 40. Not a thing. So I think we're still seeing all that stock come in. Again, here it's going to come. Let's look. Did anything print? 1, 2, 3. There's some prints. There's some prints. All right, now it's starting to trade up. I want to try to get as best a price as possible, so we'll try 56. And I didn't get it. So that's the idea. I didn't think it was very strong. Maybe it's going to come back. Let's try it again. It's printing up here. Is it going to break 50 though? Even stock at 50 is printing, so I'm going to let it go. Saw that. And now we'll look at this. So that's pretty impressive. So where's the next spot? The next pivot is up here at 52.90. I don't think it's going to go to 90. It stalled out at 57. Let's watch these prints a little bit. I'm probably going to try some at 58 if I can get it. Let's try it here. I couldn't get short. So I'm a little slow. Give it another second. Yeah, I'm too slow. Cancel that out. But you can see what we're doing. As soon as it ticks up to a reasonably higher level, watch the tape. Is stock printing there? Are people buying it? And if you're fast enough, this is a really fast stock. So this is a little bit easier than something that isn't this crazy, but it's okay. It's got great opportunity, right? If somehow we got taken at 58, the bid right now in a downtrend is only 51. So you're in the money really handsomely. So maybe we'll get another shot here, or it's going to make another move up. Let's try it again. I got 7 shares, 19 shares. We're trying to push the level. I think I'm going to get the rest of it. And I didn't. I did. All right, so let's give it a moment and see what we can see. But I really want to see it go my way right away. No new offers coming in. It's a little disappointing. I'm going to give it a second though. 60's another level. So it could be a little head fake there. 58's came back. Not much printing at 59. That's the first thing I'm watching on the tape. 60's a major level. We'll give it a second. So I might be wrong here. I'm not going to take more than an 8-cent loss. It's a good turn for us. So you see that bug? It's happened to me before, and I don't know why. So what happened there was I did a buy to cover and it didn't populate the market order field, and I've seen this before and I don't know what causes it. So I'm going to restart my platform real quick. I would say that it is a glitch from the pre-market that for some reason, because it didn't even have market order in the drop down a second ago. So when I did buy to cover market, it's still not there. And I've seen this before, and I think it's something related to pre-market, and it thinks we're in a pre-market state, so it didn't show the limit order. So let me restart. I'll be right back. Alright, so I restarted the platform and I came back. Unfortunately, I got a little spooked there, and I usually do when I see that the platform my keys aren't loading right. So obviously I covered it really quick. It's much lower now, but that's okay. There'll be other opportunities. The important thing is to kind of glean what we can glean from the tape and the movement. I don't know why this is tanking so much right now, but it's really crashing. So could be another flush move. Is it really going to head this much lower? This thing's taking a beating from the daily. You can see here. So below yesterday's low, I think, is where we're at right now. So that might be flushing out the 52s to trade it around a little bit. I don't know. Let's look back at grow generation. Let's check my orders first of all and make sure. So now buy to cover market populates, and it has all the order types in the field. So an error to watch out for. I've seen it once before. I don't remember if I was in a position or not, but the only thing I can think of is I open my platform early in the morning, and sometimes I test order types or whatever. I don't think I did this morning, but the only thing I can guess is that this carries some kind of state, and it doesn't happen that much because that often, because I do have my platform open early all the time. But it carries over some state and thinks we're in the pre-market, because in the pre-market or the extended hours, you can only put in limit orders, right? You can only put in limit orders, and that's the way it was acting. It was just limit was the only thing available to me on a buy to cover. I didn't go and have to change anything in my director trade settings or anything. So definitely a Fidelity bug. So something to keep an eye on. The best thing probably would have been to, and I thought maybe I did, I'll have to check the video, is cycle through your order types after the open and just make sure everything populates, because I can't explain it any other way. Alright, so flipping back to grow generation. So interesting bounce around here. I mean, more of a chart to look at. Here's the 5-minute. Let's watch the tape and just see if we see anything interesting. So we got a 5-cent spread. The ATR's come down to about 10 cents. I want to keep an eye on DKNG as well. Let's just see what we can see. right now, the first thing I'm looking at, these are the best offers, 37, but nothing's printing there. So with this spread, I think it would be safe to jump out there until something prints there, right? If I wanted to get short this, I'm not really keen on shorting way down at the bottom of this candle, but there was nothing printing at 37. There was 20 cents or something. So let's see what happens here. But if they spread it out again to 32, 37 and nothing prints, you should at least be in the offer maybe, right? It's in a downtrend. It had a little bit of a bounce, but let's see what this does. But it's really slowed down. I think it's a little bit easier to talk about when the tape isn't flashing crazy. Okay, so we're back. These are the best and it switched quickly. So maybe everybody else got impatient and they saw that too. So now 7 cent spread, nice spread if you can get filled. Has anything printed on the offer? Not a thing. There's one. 200 shares printed. So for example, let's throw something out here 1 cent above. So I have something, and everybody followed me down. As soon as I put 31 cents out, they all followed me down. And I cancel right away because I like to be the best offer. So if you saw that, all the algos or whatever immediately jumped in front of me when I put that out. And now it's trading lower. But that's the kind of thing you have to do, especially in something that has a spread, is be active. I like to try to get that good counter trend price. I don't like to just hit the bid with a market order. But obviously I miss a lot of stuff too. Now it's tanking, right? But you can throw your orders out, and if you're the best offer, at least you get to see some price action. This is incredible action. We just, caused this great calamity, but at least you're trying, because you do get amazing fills sometimes. There are weekends out there. If I offer 31 and no one else did, market orders can come into the market and someone may use my offer to sell it to somebody else. It happens. I've done it in pre-market from time to time with a really good spread and some protection on the level 2. You just get out there and be active. And the only reason we know to try that is there was nothing printing on the offer. So another way that the tape helps you. When a new price level comes down, look at the offer and see what's printing there, especially if it's a more contested area, right? It's like they offered it down at 20 and it looks like a lot traded at 20 and the bids are now at 19. So 20 is probably okay. No one was willing to sell that low and there are people willing to step up and buy. That's what I kind of read from this right now. And I bet these 24s don't stay. Just because of how we had a flood of prints at 20 and the bids are still at 19 right now and nothing's printing on the bid. There isn't there's 119. There's a 19, 100 shares. But I guarantee you they let this lift. So the question is, am I crazy enough to be on the bid? No, because I'd rather short it, right? Look at it. At least from that move, it dramatically came down. But maybe, so here's the lift. The 20s are now bid. Is it printing on the bid? Nothing on the bid. 8,000 in ARCA. So this will lift too. It'll probably go right back to 29. But I wouldn't buy it. It's a short. I want to get like a price up here, like 30, right where everybody freaked out and dropped down on it, which means I would imagine that these 1729 start refreshing. So if it jumps up to 29, it may print there for a little bit and those guys won't move. Would I step in front of them? Yeah, maybe. Let's try that. Let's see if we can wait for that. So if it gets to 29, I'll try a quick offer out at 28 because I have some of my keys set up to offer a penny better. And I don't think it's going to make it, but let's see. It's possible. So I'm going to offer 28 right here because we saw 31 collapse. I mean, it just fell apart. And now I got people following me. Nothing's printing. There's a 27 print for a fractional amount. Maybe I get filled here. Let's see. It looks a little scary here. There's other stock with me. Nothing printing at 28. They're printing in the middle. I'm going to cancel and see if it'll go up to 30. I don't like to leave my orders out there forever. I want it now or I reevaluate. So everyone stayed. I thought this would say, right? We saw me offer 31. Everyone, okay, so now do we want to, this is better than the price I offered at before it ticked down. So I think most of these guys are going to stay, and we have a lot of 34 here too. So again, I'm going to be the best offer just to try to play the spread. I bet I don't get filled. Everybody comes down with me, right? So aside from the level 2 and the tape, you get some information from the algorithms if you're active. Set your share size to whatever makes you comfortable. 100 shares, 50 shares, or whatever. Usually the 50 share lots, anything less than 100 shares, isn't recognized like by the algos as a real bidder offer. And what I mean by that, you could offer 50 shares out and it'll be reflected, but the algos don't move on it. But if it's 100 shares or more, they will, especially if they want to sell. So now we're right back to where I offered before. I offered at 31. It went all the way down. We saw this flush move. So now I don't know. SPYs are ticking up, so this is what we see over here. I'll share this with you. This isn't a SPY stock. This isn't in the S&P 500, but there is some indication that money's flowing into the market. That's what I'll say. So the algos and the traders and stuff take advantage of that. So we see this in SPY right here. We've got this up move. So that's what's causing this. So we might be able to get a really good price short. I think there's something here. Let's watch it for a little bit and see if we can sneak in. So this is way up. I think that's a great price. Let's try 47 and see if everybody follows me down. Immediately, I'm followed down and they offer better. So again, I'll remove my offer. They'll stay, of course, but they're reacting. There's still a seller out there, and you can influence them. So let's see. Let's just take a minute because we're on a spike, and I've got some background noise. But let's. I apologize. There's some yard work going on, but let's see what we can figure out from here. Anything print at 45? There's a 46 for 100 shares, and I think that's why the 45's dropped in there because they want to print some too. There's a 45, but it's all in the bid, and now it dropped lower. So we've got some information there. This is probably way overdone, probably very safe at like 44 or better. There's definitely stock at 46, and they were, they easily flushed it down to 1710. Whether or not there's a buyer down there, or they were just trying to hit an order, it doesn't matter. The fact is, every time I offer at a really good price, these guys follow me down. So let's test it again. I'm going to offer 40. Let's see if we can influence the algos. If not, I can always cover right away. So there's me. Someone follows me down immediately. And I'm just canceling. It's not that I don't want 40. It's I want to catch someone off guard. I want to be the best offer. Someone else buys it. And then what usually happens, if there's still real sellers out there, they want that price too and they'll step down. But no one took my offer. No one followed me down. Or I think a few shares did. But it did happen to trade higher. But I'm okay with this. I'm all for getting the best price possible. I think 50 is probably amazing. 50, 51, 52. The level 2 can always change, right? There's algorithms and the market moves fast. This stock, I don't know how fast it is right now, but so Edge, these guys should lift. Let it lift a little bit, but they're still out here. They want to sell. There's still sellers out here. The bids have come up though. This is a little bit more impressive. Let's give it some time. Let's give it a few more minutes. Obviously, this is traded up a little bit. SPYs have ticked higher. I think they're just kind of, maybe some orders have come into the market to buy some. It seems really high priced considering how fast they dropped it earlier. But let's keep an eye on it for a few minutes. Last time we saw it, it was around 1746. We got some stuff on the level 2 here. You got 2045. We saw 46. It's a pretty decent level to sell at before, and you can see it here on the chart. So let's watch this again and see if we can get a good price. So stock printed at 43 right there, just 100 shares. That's what made your chart tick up. But is this thing really going to tick up? So SPY's ticking up, and I think this is a pretty safe short at say 45. There's a lot of stock at 46 and 47, and then we've got the spread. Even now, let's see what prints. So we're starting to see some stock print in the offer. Bids only stepped up a penny. It's a nice spread for a short. I think it's a great spread. But let's see what we can snag here. Let's make sure stock's shortable. I don't expect a lot of movement in this range. Just looking here, it'd be amazing if it got up to 45, 46 again. Look at this. I mean, it's clearly on the chart. So everybody can see this level, but bids are stepping up a little bit. It's probably just went on an uptick is all that happened, but these guys are still here. So I'd rather have the bid farther away. I'd rather have it back down at 37 and short something at 42 with the opportunity that it turns right away and you buy it on the bid. Something like this that had, you know, pretty good flush move down, you won't have to market out of it necessarily. You can actually sit on the bid and buy it. Okay, so that was interesting, right? We saw some people hit the bid, then 40 showed for a second. So it may have been a day trader. Maybe he got scared, but it seems weird that some stock offered at 40 and of course someone bought it right away. So you can see that on the tape here. And now it looks like it's trying to make a push higher. It's interesting. I don't think this is going to go very far. These guys may not even move, but if they do, it's not going to go above 46. So what we'll do is we'll let them uptick it and we'll offer out in front of 46 and we'll just try it. It's a decent move. But it's interesting, the bid activity stepped up considerably, right? It was originally right around 37. So they're looking for these guys to lift, and they didn't. So they stepped down, the offer stepped down. Let's take a look at VWAP real quick. Let's just see what this looks like. It's a little bit interesting to talk about this because it's a little bit slower and it's not just crazy. So you can actually see stuff on times and sales that might be meaningful. But I think it's stuck. I think there's probably one seller around 42. And the problem is it's 10:48. So we're getting into, you know, late morning. Things are going to settle in, and that's okay. At least for this video, for this instructive stuff, it's good to kind of talk about this. But still, you got 2,045 people join this level, and there, now a big move down. So could we have predicted that? Not necessarily. I was hoping for a little counter move up, and that's going to probably decide the fate. Would I jump in here at 37? No, because they didn't. It's only a 5-cent spread still. You know, if I wanted to, or if the best spot would have been to offer it out before, right? Now you're completely in the money. You're in the driver's seat. But it's okay. I'm doing a little too much talking and not enough kind of active trading. So let's come back to this. Let's go look at DKNG. So again, this is a lot faster. There's another lower float, but let's take a look at this chart and see what we can figure out. So I use Williams percentage R sometimes. This is at an extreme level right now. So if there's stuff on the tape, it's printing on the offer. Bids were trying to step up. Let's try to offer some out right here at 24. Ooh, I got it at 23, and I got smoked. So I'm out about 5 cents immediately. Not my favorite. I'm probably going to cover this pretty quickly. And that's why you should watch things before they just rage on you. Yeah, chart doesn't look so great now, but we'll give it a second. SPYs are just going vertical. That's part of this problem, and I didn't see it. So they're using this to sell it higher. So we got smoked on this. Let's see if some offers come in. Maybe it'll turn. Yeah, it's unfortunate timing. I just wasn't watching all around. It's dangerous when you go to flip to a stock that you haven't been watching. You have to be careful. See if we can just get a better cover than here. Yeah, I think I'm doomed. I'm gonna go ahead and cover that. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Here's what happened as I flipped to the stock, and again, we did that. So no problem. It's hard to carry on a dialogue and jump around. It looked like a good price, but I didn't really know what was going on overall in the market. And it may still be a good price, but I got it just ripped through that level, so I had to cover. It's bigger than I expected, a bigger hit than I expected. I usually wouldn't let something like this. That's frustrating. So it turned right back down. Yeah, this is a wild one, but I don't like to, you know, stocks move your way right away. Then they're good trades. That's what I like. I'd almost consider bidding this because it stepped up so strongly. I mean, they had no problem stuffing me with that. Let's see what we can figure out. Nothing on the bid, nothing on the, some on the bid. Let's try to bid into some here at 19, and I used the wrong key. Let's give it another second. Yeah, it's really, that was really fast move. I'm gonna try to bid into this one more time because I feel like they really did really well on pushing that up. So now I'm watching the tape to see what's printing in the offer. And still stock is printing closer to the bid, you can see it. So it may not be the best buy in the world. It's like a momentum thing going on. I see some stock print in the offer, so I'm gonna bid it. Let's see if we can do the flip side. So I got it. Let's see what happens. Let's see if we can get a little move back up. But yeah, unfortunate. Really brutal move on both sides. It looks like I'm on the wrong side of it here too. Trying to see what's influencing this. Like, is it spies? Is it what have you? So it's a big head fake there. But we'll give it a minute. Just went up so quickly through that level. And it may have just been like a stop run or something. I'm not sure. But this thing does have a bit of momentum when it gets going. So let's see if it can make a move back up. See how quick these 19s lift. I'm not real thrilled about this right now, but let's give it a second. That looks a little better. Not great. Alright, so I'm back. I had some crazy action. I took a loss on DKNG, then I went long, and then it popped back up. And I had people hitting me up on WhatsApp and texting me at the same time, so a little distracting. There wasn't much to see on the tape here. The only thing I saw was, again, the SPY started to bottom out and show some strength. And again, this isn't a SPY stock, so I'm probably looking to short this again. Whatever's going on, I don't think it's real. It doesn't have any problem going down. I do want to look at VWAP, but this isn't the most instructive tape trade so much. So yeah, I'm pretty much where I was at. I made a little bit on a series of trades, but I took a loss, a rather large loss, or for what I wanted. Usually I like to keep them to about 8 cents, but this thing just rips through levels, and now it's approaching an area like, I don't know what to think. It's got some momentum here, but I want to short it because it fell apart, but now it's moving like gangbusters. So yeah, I was long at 35. I had to cover at 17, and then I was long. Then I had to sell out at a loss, and then I took a short and made money on it back to the figure at 07, and now it's way up here. So I might short it again. I just haven't been watching it intently, other than just seeing what the chart's doing. But a lot of action in this. Let's go back to grow and just see what we can see. So this thing's starting to die down. May not be the best thing to watch. There just isn't a lot going on. Kind of in a consolidation phase like we've seen before. And let's look at FDLM. This was something, yeah, it's just kind of, this was one of early morning volume. And this is, it seems like this has died down quite a bit too. Let me check the R-vol real quick. 1.22, but nothing's printing. You can see how slow the tape is here, so not much instructive to go with here. Some of the other ones I had on my watch list, ENPH, so nice move there. Even though the stock is down, this kind of makes me feel like the let's take a look at this. It's got a little bit of a spread. Again, I like these kind of stocks where they give an opportunity to shorten the offer and maybe, you know, bid it out right away. So pretty strong move from 105. So average true range is 40 cents. I don't really trade this. I just saw it on some of the most actives. I saw it on a list somewhere this morning. So let's take a look at this. Let's take a few minutes just to look at this tape. So you've got some stock printing in the offer. You got some in between. Obviously, you're always going to see that. So someone's showing 1,000 shares here on Edge. It's interesting. Okay, so that 1,000 shares on Edge is now gone, but it didn't trade. You can see right here, nothing traded. So somebody was flashing 1,000 shares, but it didn't trade on the offer. So no one bought that. So don't think by looking at the level 2 that it's going up, because that's not there anymore. I mean, it may, but no, it seems to be ticking down. It's possible that that 1,000 shares got nervous and he decided to just hit it out, and that's what caused the bid to drop. But let's watch the tape. So more of this is printing. It's in between, right? 76, 75, 76. And I like this Williams percentage R, especially when you go into a stock blindly. At least it gives you an idea. Hey, over a 14 period, you know, range, this is at an extreme. It's something. It's some information if you're coming in cold and you haven't looked at this before, which I haven't. So this traded down quite a bit from that 97 level. So this would be a stock where I would feel comfortable, you know, like offering out in front of these guys just to see what kind of information we get. So let's try it. So I offered out, someone joins me immediately. If I don't get filled, I cancel. And the reason I do that is, as I mentioned before, I want to be the only one there. So if something flows into the market, like a market order or whatever, people are inclined to, either market makers or market participants, other ECNs, whatever, they're inclined to take my stock because it's the only best offer out there. And if I don't get taken right away, I cancel it because then it'll trade higher. I was trying to short at 106.59. I didn't get taken, so why not let it try to trade up a little bit more, which is what I did. It moved down and someone moved down with me. If they don't take me right away, then I'll cancel it and let it tick back up. So now it's at 160, and now it's going to probably trade. That offer will probably lift to 161, and who knows? No, it didn't. But you see my point. You only need to be the best offer or the best bid by a penny, and see how it goes. But it's ticking down. This is small, so this doesn't count. But again, something on a strong move like this that doesn't trade a ton. Let's see what the R-vol is. Obviously, the stock's a little bit thin. The relative volume is 2.6, and its average volume is 2 million shares a day. So it's traded its normal average volume already this morning, but it's just thin. So that's why it's kind of moving this way. Big spread here. Look at that. That's tasty. You know, that's where you just throw something out there just to try to get it. And if you get it, you just bid it out real quick. And everything people follow me down on that too. See, so you can see the algos. You can influence them. I wouldn't bid it. I don't feel comfortable bidding it. I'm more comfortable on the short side. When things go down, they go down much faster. But you see my strategy there. I'm gonna have to cut this short. This morning I haven't. How many trades? 3 trades so far today, all in DKNG. I'm not surprised there. I'm looking for new stocks. Let's go look at PayPal. my old favorite, just to see. So this is trading a little bit slower than normal. So again, just my first thoughts looking at this. Obviously it's a down stock, it's down for the day, and the market's actually up, so there's something to worry about. So I'm looking for shorts. And the effective spread, so we looked at it a second ago, just a second ago when I flipped to it, it was, here it is again, 42.43 by 54 or 58, so that's a 14-cent spread, a 14-cent effective spread, and now it's even more. No, it's about 14 cents. But you can see how they play these games where they'll, when they don't want to kill it, or if it's just being pushed around by smaller orders, meaning the algos are following smaller orders and there isn't that much going on, you can get really hurt in turns. They pull the offer, or essentially it gets really liquid on the bid and everything just drops and falls apart. So I don't know that there's a play here right now. I mean, it'd be a great short play, but I want as much as possible out of that spread. I want to be the best offer with protection on the level 2. Let's watch it for a second and see if we can get an uptick up to like 70 or something. I don't think it's going to happen. So the spread's tightening up a little bit, and that may signal that this down move is coming to an end, because we saw a 14-cent spread before. Stocks printing in the bid, they're not exactly running away from it, right? They just bid it up. There was a bunch of stock printed at 40. People are now bidding it up. I bet this turns very quickly. I don't want to bid it. I don't think the RVOL is that good, but I'm just kind of using this as an explanation of, yeah, it's 0.65 in the RVOL, so its volume's really down. That's why I had to let it go this month so far. But I bet we start seeing some more bids come here. A minute ago they bid at 40 and 42. Now these offers came in. Oh, I'm wrong. No, see how fast that turned? That went to 49 in the offer for a few seconds there. It's like they back away from it and they make it really hard for you to stay short because you can't cover. We saw people buy this at 41 and 42 a few minutes ago when they were bidding above 40. So I think this is going to turn. Whether or not it does, see? Look at that. So the effective spread in this is a lot wider than you think. That's a crazy move. And this is part of SPY and NASDAQ 100. So SPY's kind of ticked up there, and now this thing's moved an immense amount. Those guys who were bidding it at 40, if they can sell on the offer, have made 30 cents in all of a minute. So that's why I used to like it, but it needs a little bit more volume. It gets really liquid and it gets scary. Let's watch it for a few more seconds. But yeah, there's just not a lot of volume in this, so they just move this thing. It's a really big move for a minute. But still, the spread still kind of sucks. It's 14 cents right now, right? Or 13 cents approximately, and there's no one on the bid. So it's one of those things. I had a hard time. The reason I was struggling over the last couple of days, if you guys heard me talk about it in some of the other videos, was this was one of my better stocks and the volume dropped out of it. So the spread was a little bit tighter, and I was very good at playing the bids and the offers, and we were in a downtrend, right? So most of September, at least the first 3-4 weeks, we were just going down, and I was just cashing in on this. I was always on the offer. I was really active and catching these moves, and then the ECNs and stuff would follow me down. And then all you have to do is watch the tape. Once it starts printing on the bid and people are dropping away from it, you know you're good. I don't know that I'm going to put a trade on in this, but it looks, a short on this looks really good up here. You can see my perspective. When you talk about the tape and the level 2, I consider them one and the same. The tape is not just times and sales to me, it's this too. And while there is a lot of algorithms and high frequency trading, you do, even in Facebook, which is one of the most active stocks on the NASDAQ and in the market and super hot, you do see ECNs come in at the same levels. So you have a little jig in the market, the stock turns down or up, but then you get these hints where people keep coming back, either BATS or ARCO or NASDAQ. They keep coming back at the same price level. And then when they do, you say, hey, so here's what I mean. Let's say that the stock that was offered at 68, 69 a few minutes ago, even though this is going up because the market's going up, let's say when the market stalls, do we see that stock come quickly back into 68, 69 and nothing prints there, right? It's going up right now, so people want to buy it, we assume. But the offers, what I'm saying is when these 68, 69s come back in the offer, the first thing you do is watch this. Nothing's printing in the offer. No one's buying it, no one's buying it, no one's buying it, no one's buying it. There's a little bit of 67. And my phone's going off. So, and I missed the action there, but maybe you guys saw it. When you see those price levels appear again in the level 2, immediately shift your eyes to the tape, see if it's printing there, and that's where you know that there might be a turn. So there was a little stutter step there and it slowed down. So if you were short, you had an opportunity to cover, it may happen again. I mean, this 6 cents isn't much of a move on this. This is going to move a lot. So here's all these 68, 69s. This is what I saw before when we flipped to it as it was going up. I kind of just cued in on those visually, and now they're even lower. Is it printing? So there's some printing there at 66, a little bit of interest, and now it's bid prints. So I don't know, that's the visual kind of exercise that you need to do. If you see an important price level, when it revisits, switch to time and sales, and then say, okay, is it printing there? Is anyone buying it now that we just got this new offered price that looks really good? It did when it was going up, right? And it might be the sign of a market turn. And again, you don't have to scalp super fast like I do. You just use that to scale in, time your entries, or use it in with your technical analysis as well. You know, is it a key point on the tape where you're willing to take the risk reward? You know, you could short it and risk the top of 80 cents here and just let it ride. Put your stop in and make it a swing trade or whatever. But that's what I do. That's how I use the NASDAQ and the level 2. So a little bit scattered today, flipping around the different stocks, and I had some interruptions. I apologize. But that's the kind of stuff I look for. I hope it was helpful. I hope it gives you some insights or a different way to think. Or maybe you were doing all this before and maybe you have something better. Again, really hard right now for some of you guys. I know we've talked about it in some of the previous videos in the comments, but there's no red and green on the times and sales. It's, from what I heard, I've told a bunch of you, it's a Fidelity introduced bug with one of their updates. They broke it. Someone found that out, I can't remember who, but kudos for sharing that with the community. They broke it and they said they were going to try to fix it in a future update. So right now we're stuck with this. So just think in price. I know it's a little bit harder, but you can do it, especially if you're looking. For me, it's easier to look at the offer side and just visually track back and forth here. From the bid side to here, it's a longer move, right? Your eyes got to shift over there and then back over here. In a really fast tape, it's hard. But for me, usually when I'm shorting, it's pretty easy. I'm just like, okay, I'm going right from the offer to right to the latest prints. And is it printing there? And as you can see right now, a little bit's printing at the little bit printed at 38. Yeah, it's fast. But this is a super fast stock. But again, this is more of like seeing price come in at the different levels. But with that, I think I'm going to wrap this up, guys, at least for the morning. I'm going to do some more trading and try to focus. I just want to peek around at some of the stuff we traded. DKNG was my nemesis this morning. But I'm going to work on trading this better. This might have to be one of my go-tos. It's pretty excitable each day. And it's got some good moves in it. Our vol today is 2.85, so it's still pretty hot for the news and stuff that I had yesterday. PTON is another one. It's been super strong. It reminds me of Tesla. Look at that chart. So I'm a little bit more wary of this because I do tend to short a little bit more, but I've had some good luck in this too. So it's another one I'm going to focus on. But I didn't flip to it today because it usually trades so fast that it's hard to see things in times and sales in the level 2. But with that, I'm going to wrap this one up. I hope this was helpful. Throw me something in the comments below. I will divide this up into chapters. So it's something in YouTube where you can break it up in chapters. So you should see those links at the bottom of the YouTube video. So you can just kind of bounce to each trade or each stock as I talk about it. I'm going to try to edit it and trim it down. And hopefully this gives you guys a little bit more edge and helps you make some money. So with that, I will see you guys next time. Thanks so much. Thanks for your support. We're approaching 2,000 subscribers. It's crazy. I started this channel in January of 2019, and it was just kind of a hobby thing, and I didn't know anything about YouTube or video editing, so I'm really impressed, and it's been a lot of fun. We have a community of people, and we're all in it together, so I dig it. I like helping out, and I like to hear what you guys are doing. So throw something in the comments below. If you have any tips or tricks for times in sales or level 2 or reading the tape, share it. We'll kick it out to everybody. So thanks, guys. I'll see you next time.